Well, hysteria has quickly swept through Europe, and we saw the same reaction concerning bird flu and swine flu, of course. This time, Anthony, is this panic justified?
Justified? Well, you know, who's to say medically what's justified or what's not? But, you know, traditionally the track records associated with the various hysteric type of ways that various illnesses and viruses were dealt with in the past would lead one not to be too aggressive in assuming that they'll be a whole lot different this time. I don't believe that we have enough information at this time to be able to determine whether or not there's going to be a real serious outbreak here that's going to cause serious, you know, human casualties beyond the numbers that we've seen to date. But certainly the mainstream media is having, you know, their normal run at trumpeting this to be another grand hysteric situation that needs to be dealt with.
So you're blaming this hype on the mainstream media. What about the authorities, for example, the World Health Organization and health authorities? Are they not responsible also for not dealing with this in a responsible way?
Well, dealing with it in a responsible way, I don't believe that that's necessarily the true nature of the WHO. So to talk about them dealing with it in a responsible manner, I think that's what the mainstream media's job is to try to do, is to, you know, prop up the importance of these sorts of international organizations, similar to how the IAEA was propped up by the mainstream media, is to try to help find solutions for the Japanese crisis. The WHO is and has proven to be in the past a spokesperson for, or a spokes group for the various interests that are interested in developing one world type of governance, and basically the mainstream media is their active propaganda machine. That is at least the Western mainstream media. So I wouldn't expect them to do anything more than continue to trumpet these headlines in a way that will cause more and more hysteria and drive more and more people into believing that these organizations like the WHO are actually there to do something about it. Because all they're going to do is level society with more rules and more regulations. They're going to trumpet out their spokespeople who are going to tell everybody how concerned they are with somber faces about the situation at hand, and of course more rules, and likely another EU institution that will administer these rules is what's in the offering.
What about others quick to capitalize on this sort of incident, of course, in the past with swine flu, bird flu, the pharmaceutical companies as well? There's the financial consideration too. Who else could be the winners here?
Well, certainly it's not the Spanish farmers who are the winners, that's for sure. The winners here, well, you know, if you really want to peel back the layers of the onion, I look at the central bankers who are actually the ones who are facilitating the financing of the massive amounts, the billions of dollars worth of vaccines that end up in warehouses, when the actual puffery that's behind all this hysteria turns out to be nothing more than that. So, you know, there certainly is some victory being played here for the parties who are controlling these international one world organizations, and really are in the driver's seat pulling the strings of the mainstream media as well. I have to ask the question at the end of the day, why is it that we have a few old men sitting in the city of London who are basically controlling all, if not most, of the mainstream media? Why do we have these people controlling the central banks and printing endless reams of fiat money that make all of the taxpayers out there further indebted to the various whimsical ideas that they decide to nonsensically fund?
Okay, to me,
it's just a continuation of the same thing.
There will be many people who want to interject, say, look, wait a minute, there is clearly something very strange going on here. Many scientists, they just still don't understand the source of this outbreak. Some are saying this could be a new mutation or perhaps a very rare variety. We've got to consider the fact that this is very early stages, as you did acknowledge earlier, and that actually this may not be a case of scaremongering, that this could really be a serious outbreak.
That very well may be the case, and at this stage neither you nor I nor anyone else who's been voicing their opinions on this issue actually know what that actual situation will turn out to be. However, the one thing that we do know is that whenever these sorts of crises, so to speak, materialize, the mainstream media is very, very quick to jump on board and create maximum, as we use the word over and over again here, hysteria, in order to generate the type of response that they're looking for, which is one, once again, which pushes back into the hands of the organizations like the WHO and the European Union officials the ability to create more rules, more regulations, which just milk the economy even further into debt. Bottom line is at the end of the day, all we're facing here is another one of those situations, and whether or not medically it turns out to be a situation that differs from the past does not hold very well as a track record for what we should maybe expect in the future.
Thanks very much indeed. Interesting to hear what you have to say. Anthony Weil, founder and chief editor of the dailybell.com, joining us live there on RT. Thank you.